Hello, and welcome to the Union Involvement Services Facility Risk Module. Today, we're going to cover what facility risk looks like and what your organization can do to avoid it or stifle its impacts. First, let's define risk in general. Risk is a verb meaning to expose to hazard or to danger, to incur risk or danger of. As a student organization, you must be able to identify, define, and communicate your risk management responsibilities. When planning for an event or activity, the organization must consider every risk that could fall into any of those five levels of risk. Well formed plans can prevent innumerable foreseeable events from occurring. Through the event planning, plans are essential to managing risk, as they allow for appropriate mitigation strategies to be set in place. Managing risk is an important part of being a successful student organization and is what makes many of the events held on campus possible. The best time to undertake comprehensive risk management program is before an incident occurs at an event. Facility risks are risks either to the facility or caused by it. This can include fire codes, maximum capacities, weather challenges, and damages to the facility. How can we prevent risk? By using a simple three-step process to identify, assess, and mitigate risk. First, identify the risk. Look for the situation that could cause harm to the facility you are using, or things about the facility that could pose a risk to your organization. Next, assess the risk. Decide how likely and how harmful the potential incident could be, both to you and your own members and non-participants. Finally, mitigate that risk. Choose a plan of action that could handle the risk of that situation. Can you think of an example of a situation that could result in harm to a facility you're using? For what reason might a facility pose a risk to your organization? Like mentioned before, hazards can include fire codes and maximum capacities. Every venue has a maximum capacity, and if an event exceeds that limit, the organization is now at risk for breaking the fire codes. Heating and cooling can be another facility risk. During the times of temperature extremes, a venue is not properly heated or cooled can not only be uncomfortable for the guests and event goers, but dangerous. Other risks include bursting pipes, space heater fires, heat strokes, and passing out. Another facility risk is any damage done to the facility. As mentioned earlier, all damages done to the venue while your organization is using it will result in fines. This also may prevent you from using that space in the future. Parking issues can also pose a problem if not considered. Make sure that the space you are holding your event at will be able to accommodate your attendees' parking needs. Weather changes can be another problem. If inclement weather strikes, would your venue be safe and accessible? Is it a good idea to always consider a rain out location in case of weather changes? Think about the structural concerns. A building that doesn't look safe probably isn't the best place to hold an event. How about noise complaints? Your venue location may be prone to noise complaints from the surrounding area. Make sure if your event will be loud and it isn't in a residential area, or adhere to a noise ordinance. Finally, restrooms need to be clean and properly stocked. Some questions to ask yourself when considering these risks include: is our activity taking place in the proper location? Are restroom clean and stocked? 3. Is the location structurally safe as large enough for this our event? 4. Do we have inclement weather plans? 5. Do we have contact information of the venue owner/manager? 6. Is there someone in the organization responsible for making the call if a change in plans occurs? 7. Does the venue discriminate on the basis of race and gender? 8. Does this venue have different signs, displays, or graffiti? Here's an example. True Grass is getting ready to begin their concert at the new off-campus location. They notice the roof is leaking right in the middle of the stage as well as part of the crowd. The members of True Grass put a bucket to collect the water until they can get a hold of the facility owner. They call the owner and describe the issue, and he goes, "Oh, yeah, that happens sometimes," and doesn't offer any solution. Truegrass also noticed some of the audience members seem uncomfortable with a Confederate flag hanging in the corner of the room. What could have been done to prevent some of the risk? Let's think through some of the facility risks that we talked about in relation to the scenario. One, is our activity taking place in a proper location? Truegrass could have visited the space prior to the reserving and scope out any potential issues. Is the location structurally safe as well as large enough for the event? Do you have the contact information of the venue owner or manager? Capacity was not a problem and they had contacted the venue owner. Does the venue have derogatory signs, displays, or graffiti? Truegrass could have evaluated how they felt about the Confederate flag display ahead of time. Thank you for listening to our facility risk module. We hope you feel better about planning and preparing for a event.